was a recent edition of Willow Talk that you came up with something. I quite like it. It's just like pluck some names and then get our guests to just first thing into their heads about the names that you mentioned.
You've been involved in some of the most influential players in our game, players that have changed the game, whether it be broadcasting. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to throw a few names at you, and I just, if you've got a little story for us, and this can go anywhere. These stories, they don't have to be cricket. You like X-rated ones,
but X-rated.
But we'll see.
We'll have the E next to our thing. It's like
Richie Benaud.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a hero as a young bloke, and I mean, he had the collar up and had the shirt unbuttoned down to the navel. I mean, it was almost X-rated itself. But Richie had that aura about him, that talk about someone not being, not having a clue, but just pretending. He always looked like he knew what he was doing. And pretty much that carried on through his commentary and every other part of his life. One of the funniest days ever was in the commentary box down at Bell Reeve in the days when it was the old up on the scaffolding down whatever end it is, and it was just a domestic one-day game, and Bill Lawry and Richie are commentating, and we the 12th man was very popular at that stage, the 12th man tapes and so on. So everyone knew what the 12th man had been doing, and we every now and then we'd break into the 12th man doing certain things. But the chew for 222 never came out when Richie was around, except Bill is commentating with Richie, and Bill's in the driver's seat. Richie's sort of sitting back, relaxing, and bugging me, the score gets the 2 for 222. And Bill gives it and it's chew for 222. And then he starts laughing, you see. And Richie's just sitting back in his seat, leaning back. And we had those, the lip ribbon microphones that, when you weren't talking, you went to put them down, so the other guy knew that he could speak, so you didn't want people speaking over himself. So Bill never, ever put the microphone down, so you had to sit there and watch and wait till he stopped talking and then jump in. Anyway, so he's given it the chew for 222, and he's bloody laughing to himself. We're standing in the back of the commentary box thinking, this might get ugly. And Richie's there just looking down his lip at him, sort of, okay, smartass, you've got yourself into this, get yourself out of it. Bill couldn't commentate for 2 overs and Richie wouldn't. So there was silence for 2 overs. And no one was game to say a word. This is just going to have to play out. But every time Bill picked up the microphone to speak, he'd start laughing, so he'd have to stop. And Richie just kept looking down his lip at him and just, you got yourself into it, get yourself out of it. And that was quite one of the funniest days in the commentary box.
Did he eventually say something, Richie? He was playing along with the joke, or was he just literally not impressed?
It was just, Richie was of that thing that, you got yourself into this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to help you.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily complaining or criticising, but you started this, you find a way to get through it.
Well, but mate, not long after, there's that famous clip of Tony Gregg, and they took the obligatory, the TV coverage in the 80s and 90s. They'd find a beautiful woman in the crowd and take a shot, and Tony Gregg couldn't help himself. He said something about it, and then there was a pause. And then Tony Gregg's turned to Bill Lawry to say something, and Bill's taken Richie's advice and gone, well, you got yourself into this, pal. You get yourself out of it.
Exactly. So. I'm not helping you.